there's no boundaries, me entrego, I give myself fully. But the Scorpio is like, whoa, we need a boundary here, people. Like, so there's a conflict between the sun, which is your true essence, and the moon, which is what we all pretend to be because that's what mom taught us. So mom could have been in an addictive relationship. She could have had an addiction herself. She could have been excessively codependent. She could have been running an orphanage. I mean, the story that she lived out in the pregnancy could have been any number. But there wasn't a clear boundary. There was confusion. Pisces is a planet of a sign of confusion, no boundary. I don't know where I begin and you begin. So in your love, there's that, oh, well, I don't know, are we broken up, baby? Well, you know, what's mine, what's yours? And that your Scorpio doesn't like, and your Mercury does not like that. Your booty wants a boundary, your Scorpio. So something's got to give where I make the cut. But that moon is an intense moon. That's a very, very intense moon. And it's the universal mother moon. So you think, or you can be like everyone's mother. Or your mom was like everyone's mother.
Anybody want kitchen?
There you go. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And what we will do is we will default to that. That is not what we are.
So that's not what we are.
No. Our moon is a trick. A trampa. How do you say it again?
Trap.
A trap. My moon is in Cancer. The child, the nurturer, the mother to my mother, the food addictions, all of that stuff. Until Cancer, ironically, grew me up. Every time you show up as your moon sign, you are hurting yourself.
Ooh.
Every time you show up as your moon sign, you are showing up as your child. That works with the manas, that particular planet. It's storehouse of all the memory, but it assists the manas in being a baby. Every time you show up as your moon sign, you will get unmet needs and you will get lack. So you do something different. Ken, Aquarius. So during Ken's pregnancy, there had to be a hurricane, there had to be some major scientific discovery, the mother had to pick up and move in the middle of the night, there was some level of instability. Things were not stable, therefore chaos is safety for Ken. The more chaotic, the more unstable, the more love I have. The more I nurture, the less boundary I have, the more confusion I have about a relationship, the more he loves me. In my case, it was if I was a child and they had to take care of me, the more love. Nope. But I put myself in that role, or I became the mother. And if I was the mother, and I married a guy 10 years younger than me, I mean, let's be serious. And my other ex was 30 years older than me. So child, mother, I mean, and my ex before that was older than me. He was not really doing either one, but I think I was more mother in him. But you see the theme of child, mother, because Cancer is the sign of child, mother. Uranus or Aquarius, which is Ken, is not only logic and science, but it's chaos. It rules lightning and thunder and tsunamis. So unless his life is a tsunami, and thunder and lightning and chaos and run for cover, there isn't love. So all you need is stability. So simple. So when you find the antidote to your moon, you heal. Reina and Carolina, you guys have the same moon. I'm sorry. It's Virgo. Every moon sucks. Moon in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of like the Virgin Mary. So it could manifest, it doesn't have to, there's many ways. But there has to be a level of purity, of cleanliness, of OCD. Guilt. This is the moon of guilt. This is the moon of I must be a grown-up and an adult And I can only get sick to get child attention. If not, I can't. So a lot of people with moon in Virgo tend to have GI stuff, colon stuff, stomach stuff, and what they do is they get sick and then they're allowed to get nurtured. But they process all emotions through the body. Cancer moon like mine and Virgo moon like you guys is purely emotional sickness. You have nothing physical. It is emotion. But we don't have any other outlet that we use the physical body. There's an element of good and bad. OCD is a very common thing because I clean, then I'm good. So I went on mujer latina if I clean and cook. You're not a good woman because you clean and cook. That's a value system.
Right.
So your moms might have been excessively cooking and cleaning during your pregnancy or working or very virginal. Oh my God, purity. This is the Virgin Mary moon. Sucks. My sister has this moon. Nurses, doctors, estheticians, all the professions. So the moon will lead you to a profession. That's not bad. I'm talking about the negative. The negative is the betrayal. That's how you show up as a child. So you aren't allowed to be children. Virgo moons have to be grown-ups. They have to be adults. That's why only when they're sick can they maybe get attention. If not, I have to be perfect. I never told you this, but the first day you guys started class, right behind you was the Virgin Mary. And I told Anaya, I said, oh my God, right behind Caroline is a Virgin Mary. She must have, I thought you were Virgo. And I think I asked you on the first day of class because I saw her. But it's your moon I was seeing. So the purity and the thing, woo, honey. Call it Mary Magdalene. Mother Mary.
So
later.
You need balance? Like,
yeah, you need both, but you have no balance.
no, I don't.
Of course. Get it on. But be okay with it.
I see.
Because you might be, woo,
Accept it.
it's like, cleanse, purge, you gotta be, yeah, this is juicy, and then write it in the paper. That's the difference. The behavior is not bad. It's your thought behind the behavior that's bad. It's always the thought. There is no bad behavior. I gave you the example of the prostitutes in 79, the prostitutes in Weston. There's nothing wrong with the behavior. It's the oldest profession. We're all prostitutes in one way. We all have a price for something in some place in our life.
That's right.
That's the black moon in your chart. But you judge where you do it because you're not okay with that because of your moon and you have that Mars in Sag. And that's what you see in astrology. The one theme shows up in 500 different places. I don't care where I start in your chart, I'm going to see the same thing. As you just have that one separation. I got everyone's moon?
Mm-hmm. Jennifer?
Jen?
I think I'm Scorpio, but and me.
Scorpio. Scorpio moon has everything to do with life and death. In the mother during the pregnancy or during the birth process, an example, got a phone call, your uncle just died. So as life is starting, death is already there. So there's this very much, I describe this as in order to create, you destroy.
Shiva.
Yes, but Shiva came to me many months ago and just blew my mind. Shiva says to me, you don't need to destroy in order to create. And he says to me, because I've been working through my Divine Feminine for 2 years now because of the cancer. And one day, he's like, what do you think is the most balanced act? When you think of pregnancy, you think of pregnancy as a feminine act, right? Shiva, second chakra, creation, destruction. He's like, pregnancy is the most balanced act because you are creating new life, but you're also destroying parts of the mother's body to create that new life. So it's the balance of creation and destruction. With a Scorpio moon, there had to be a very clear destruction, a death, a breakup, a divorce, something ended. Maybe it was your mother's psychology of being an independent 16-year-old, and she's very much about freedom. So the tendency of Scorpios are that they destroy in order to recreate, to birth something new. And it's not necessary. You can transplant your plant into a new pot, but you don't need to throw the whole plant away. Scorpio people, Scorpio moon people, very, very rarely in your psychology do you let others, and that correlates with your 7th house sun, really, really, really ever know you. There's a safety, there's a fear of, if I am truly known, I won't be approved, valued, whatever that is. So that's a very Scorpionic thing. Sonia too, and she has all that Scorpio, there's a fear there. And if you know about mythology, Pluto, who rules Scorpio, was the god of the underworld, and he lived there alone. He didn't want anyone to go down there. You had to go through tooth and nail to get down there. Now, if it was your time to die, great. But he didn't like visitors. So there's a secrecy, there's a thing of protection, secrecy for protection around your psyche. But the moon, so watch when you destroy to start your new life. I mean, not one remnant left, because now you know you're going to rise from those ashes. So it's okay to leave some roots. It's okay to leave something behind. It's not going to hurt you. But that's the psyche there of the Scorpio moon. So the moon carries all of this memory, all of these some scars, all of your past lives. That's why there's no new information. You're just pulling from all of these planets, but the moon you pull from 24/7. It's instant, it's there, it's available. It's only when the manas, when the chitta and the buddhi work together, that all of that information gets discriminated, the sorting of the grain and the seed, correctly. Then I can say, you know what, I have a Virgo moon. Okay, Francis says that that's a little too virginal, but I'm not going to go home with this guy in the club. I don't know if he has AIDS. That's the right discrimination. Okay. You're not being prude because you don't screw every guy that you meet at the club. You discriminate. Hey, let's go to the HIV clinic before we jump in the sack. That's the right way to use your chitta and your buddhi. Because it's in Sag. So let's get real. I want to have a good time. I'm not allowed to have a good time. And if I have a good time, I am going to pay for it. Or I'll get colon cancer. Or I'll get gas. Or I'll have an autoimmune disease. All of the critical and judgment that comes from that moon. So it's not about none of this is about castrating a planet. Like I said, do you want to cut your stomach off? No, don't cut your moon. It's giving you the ability to be a nurse. It's the anatomy and physiology. Virgo rules the body. Yeah. So that's where you get that gift. That's great. But we have to discriminate. And that's where the buddhi helps the chitta. That's where they work together. So all of these pieces are what makes the mind complete. And in Western psychology, we don't have this. We don't have this defined, sort of precision. And then astrology when I was able to put these two things together, because I knew this before entire data, I was like, this is amazing. Any questions?
Yeah, and moon and Taurus.
Oh, I didn't do you? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's Taurus.
Moon in Taurus. Okay. Moon in Taurus is a very difficult moon to change. It is a stubborn moon. It needs to love and bring flowers and pay the bill and come over and make you a cup of tea. You have to make like this cozy, homey. Now you have Saturn next to the moon, so that might be cut off because it will just cut off, but your nature is that. So it can be channeled through finances, financial stability. It can be channeled through your home where you won't leave your home under any circumstances, but change. The hardest moon to change is the Taurus moon. The roots are so rooted, that's why you don't leave that job even though you've expired it. So when you get a Taurus moon to change, watch out. Everything is possible. It just takes 20 years.
Oh, great.
Well, figure of speech, but well, you're halfway there.
Yeah, maybe you started 19 years ago.
So that's the main thing. One of my best friends has a Taurus moon, and every time we go out, she doesn't have a freaking pot to piss in. And I'm like, will you stop? No, I'm buying you lunch. I'm like, stop honoring your moon. You don't have a freaking penny. Every time she comes in with flowers, a statue, a crystal, I'm like, will you stop? But it's not that she's trying to buy my love or anything. This is one of my dearest friends. But it's the demonstration of affection, because Taurus is material. So whether it's food or a gift or a gesture, it's how I show love.
I
But
like
if
to
you-
buy stuff for others. Yeah.
Okay, but that is feeding
Yes,
your
you
moon,
do.
and it is not healthy. So for every time you want to do it half of the times. If nothing else, do your moon in half. For every time you want to buy something, for every time you want to have sex with a guy that you don't want to, for every time that you want to look up a research article and not have faith, do it half. If nothing else, try to do it less.
So she just calls chaos only half the time?
Half chaos, half stable.
I don't know, that's gonna be rough.
I know. Because we want to honor our moon. Because it makes us feel, what did I tell you yesterday? That we're back in the womb. But the womb of our mommy is not the cosmic womb. So every time you keep a secret, buy a gift, create chaos, act like a child, act like a virgin, you're saying, Mommy, 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 look at me, I'm back in there, in the warmth. The Sanlad in his book says, we spend our whole life trying to re-enter the womb.
Yeah, somebody else said that too.
Okay.
There was another-
It's in his concepts of
But
Ayurveda.
how do you recognize your chitta, your moon?
How do you recognize the
Yeah.
moon? Okay, well, first of all, you have the chart. So, let me send you to my podcast and my mod. Draw a triangle. Let's do this quickly. I know it's time to go. Are you guys okay? Just take a few extra minutes.
Yeah.
Label the bottom of the triangle, one corner mother, one corner father, and the tip of the triangle label child. Under mother, you don't have to do this now, just write the instructions. And I have a little workbook for free and I'll write the link. Write everything that you liked and didn't like about your mother. I call it the good and the bad bucket when you were young. And under father, the same thing. Under child, describe yourself as a child. Describe yourself how you behaved with mom, how you behaved with dad, if there was a story around your childhood. You were the quiet one, you were the needy one, you were the favorite, of your dad's, whatever. That's how you identify your mood. Your child's script, every time you show up like that, you are showing up as your child, as your mood. It is simply what you were told that you had to be to belong to the family. It is past memory. It's why you chose the vibration of the womb that you chose. That family needed you to complete the puzzle, to be the black sheep, to be the exalted one, to be the babysitter, to be the husband, to take care of the younger brothers and sisters. So if you're not taking care and cooking and buying things, you're not in your role. But that isn't your role. That is your child, that is your chitta, that is old. With right discrimination, with your buddhi, with your logic and intellect, like my girlfriend, if I have $20 in the bank, how the hell am I going to pay for Francis's $25 lunch? That's where the booty comes in, to tell her, I love you, but I have to define my moon right now and use my logic to tell you I ain't got the money to buy your lunch. But we don't do that. We want the feel good. So that child's script is how you show up in every single situation. In my model, which is based on all of this, Every single person, place, thing, or situation is your mother or your father. So if your mother or father shows up in every single thing, guess how you are going to show up?
So, for instance,
Let me
if I-
finish. As a child. Unless you use your right discrimination, your booty, and stop, the pause, the breath, and go, wait a minute. I have a choice. This is my mom and my dad. This guy's my dad. I'm dating my dad. This is how I normally was my dad. Okay, wait. Let me discriminate. Do I want? Then you do something different. If you don't take that pause, in my model it's called the teenager, child, teenager, adult, very simple. You never become an adult and you never stop the default of your mood. And you never grow up and you never change and you come a gazillion lifetimes to do the same lesson over and over again. Let's do it in this one, people. Go ahead.
So, can I apply this to, let's say, my job? If I were to
Everything.
sit down and say, okay, mother, father, child, and
Every single
my job
person,
and
place,
and
thing,
then-
or situation. Your job, the building, your car, your boss, your husband, me, your friends, that cup. Every single thing is representative of your mother and your father. And the only thing that you are here to do in this journey, this lifetime, is identify when you show up as the child, which is what you're doing is going to lack, getting unmet needs, and staying unhappy, no joy for those of you who put joy, or you show up for yourself, you meet your needs, you show up as an adult, you define what it means to want these things that you've said all weekend, and you get them and you do them for yourself. That's the only way. So in this process of involution and evolution, it's why I did the moon, we start here. Every 7 years, we are going out, out, out. 7 years we go to school, we're out of the house, we're away from our parents, we're away from the nest, the womb, if you will. 14 is when kids go into rebellion, they're teenage, it's the worst years. 14 to 15 is the worst years. They are furthest away from their parents. 21, we move away, we get a job, we graduate college. 28, we have a mortgage, we have a family, we're back into the home life. This is an example. First Saturn ended. 28 starts the new Saturn. 28, 35, 42, 49. Second Saturn. And then we do it again until 90 if we're that lucky to live the 3 Saturn cycles. In each one of those Saturn cycles, you are going down, 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 and then up, 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 up. Remember yesterday how I said you eventually chisel at your wound, at your theme, at your seed, at your unmet needs, and then you have a playing field that supposedly begins around 50, 60 years old. That's changing now because we are in a very fast evolutionary process because of this Kali Yuga. But age does matter. There is time frames for things, they're just planetary. So each time we are going evolution, involution, external, internal. So I have to understand that my husband, who is 10 years younger than me, is in a different evolutionary process than me. He is external, he is building his profession. I already did that. I am working on the inner. He will then do that, and then I'll, let's say, maybe my book will take off, and I'll take off in an external. Doesn't mean that I have lost my internal foundation, but then I go out again, out, 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 and then come back again, because Saturn's going to give me another crisis to force me into my winter, to force me home. And then again, until the final go-round of death. So we cannot judge when we're external. The sun comes out every day. We're not all moon, we're all not dark, we're all not shadow, it's not all winter. We cannot constantly be working in. I was like that. That got me sick. You need the external, you need the people, you need the sex, you need the alcohol, you need the fun, you need the life. And then your crisis is gonna come and you're gonna be collected. But it's a constant process. And if we judge that we're external or sensory or we're not spiritual, then we're missing the point. So my website has the podcast. I'll write the thing. And you can download the podcast or just the workbook. The workbook explains this. It's that simple thing, and then it's the steps. And they're all based on everything we talked about this weekend. Becoming aware, recognizing your moon, I call it the child. How to meet your need by defining things. Having a rule book, your philosophy of life. Everything I taught you is just in a concise 7-step model. But it's everything we covered. And then you click on podcast. The free workbook is there, and you can download all 6 seasons. You might. I don't know if you listened. I do a lot of mythology. Season 6 is all in astrology. I explain the model. There's a book. This is what saved my life. So I want everyone and anyone to have this information. And it's all built on metaphysical principles. I talk a lot about myth. I share a lot of stories. I talk about Prince Popper and shit God complex. I talk about, all this 0 to 100, how to get to the 48 to 52. It's every single thing that you guys got. I don't talk Sankhya because it's not meant for an Ayurvedic, non-Ayurvedic public. But you guys got it in the confines of this philosophy. Thank you so much. Can you stop that recording?
How do I do this?
I'll do it.